everybody, it's Elizabeth from Fern Stickers, and I am here today to talk about my 3 favorite productivity tools. If you've been around here before, you know that I am a busy lady. I have a full-time job as a college professor, and I also run my own business, and I also have church and friends and a husband and a cat and family, and lots of things I like to do in my free time. So I have a lot going on. And one of the things that makes a big difference for me is using my time well, especially at my full-time job. Being a college professor, there are a lot of things that I have to do that are hard or easy to procrastinate or easy to get distracted in the middle of, and I need tools to help me concentrate and focus. And it's not that these are things that, once I get doing, often I like them, or they're very rewarding and valuable once they're done, but sometimes it's hard to get started or hard to get focused, and I have some tools that I use to help me. So the first tool is called Freedom, and this is a program that blocks your internet. It works on computers and on phones. I haven't used the phone app for a long time though, so I'll talk about the phone app that I use instead. So I can't speak to the phone app. I exclusively use this on my computer. Freedom has changed a lot over the years. I have been using it for over 10 years and it's always been a really useful tool, but it's evolved and added features that make it a great tool. So what Freedom does is it blocks the internet. And so pretty simple, but it's one of those things where you're able to decide once that you don't want to be distracted by online things, and then for whatever period of time you choose, you won't be distracted. There are several different ways you can do this. The first thing you can do is just block everything. You can block everything on the internet. You can block apps on your computer, so like you could block email or other apps that you get distracted by. But it also has more sophisticated aspects, which is what's really helpful to me. So the first thing is you can have certain blocked lists. So if there are websites that are your go-tos for getting distracted, you can block those, and you can have access to the rest of the internet but have certain websites or apps on your computer blocked. The other thing you can do is have a whitelist, and this is what I use the most. So the whitelist lets you choose a certain set of websites that you are allowed to go to. And so that's my default setting. There's certain websites like Google Scholar, my university library, Canvas, which is our course management system, that I use when I'm doing focused work, but I don't want the rest of the internet to be accessible to me. So it's really great that I can go on Canvas and I can grade papers, but I can't go elsewhere on the internet. So I am just there grading papers and staying focused on it. You can pick how long you want this block to be in effect, and it's a really easy drop-down menu that you choose from, and so you can pick whatever length of time you want. The other thing you can do, which I'm not using right now, but I have in past semesters, is you can make a schedule. And so you can schedule that like every Monday from 8 to noon, you're not going to have any internet available. And that works really well because then you don't even have to decide to turn it on. You just sit down on Monday at 8 a.m. and you cannot get online, so you had better do your focused work. That's right now, I'm not sure about my schedule. It's a little bit in flux, and so I haven't been using that recently, but I would like to go back to that because it makes me really productive. Freedom is a paid app, and it's pretty low monthly cost if you pay by the month, but you can also do what I did, which is you can pay a lifetime fee. And again, I've been using this for over 10 years, so paying a one-time fee has definitely been worth it. I know there are lots of other programs out there like this, but Freedom is the only one I've used, so it's the only one that I can speak to. So that is the first productivity tool that I use that just helps me to avoid distractions when I need to be doing focused work. The second one is similar, but it is specifically for my phone, and it's an app called Forest. Forest is a free app, and the idea is pretty simple. You go in the app and you plant a tree. And what it means by that, you have all these kinds of trees and plants that you can choose from. So like an evergreen tree or some sunflowers. There are a lot of whimsical trees too, and you pick amount of time. And if you don't leave that app on your phone for that amount of time, your tree will grow. And you can go back and see it growing and getting bigger over the amount of time. If you leave the app during that time, the tree will die. So it's a pretty simple way to keep you from not doing other things on your phone. And it's really fun because you can see over time, you can see like your daily, weekly, monthly forest that has grown. And so when you see all those trees, it's really motivating because you say like, wow, I was really focused this month or this week. And it's fun to pick different trees to plant, and you can over time unlock more and different trees. So it's a really simple way to stay focused, and you can even use it for things like, a lot of times I'll set it before I go to bed. Like when I'm winding down in the evening, I don't want to be on my phone, so I'll get all my alarms set, get ready to go, and then I'll put Forest on until after I'm going to fall asleep. So that way I'm not going to check my phone and stuff right before I go to bed. Again, it's free. and I use it on iOS. I'm pretty sure it's available on Android as well, but that's a really useful app for staying off your phone. And then the last thing I use that I've mentioned before is the Pomodoro technique, and this has been around for a while. The basic idea is you set a timer for some amount of time, you work, focused work for that amount of time, and then you take a break for a set amount of time and then repeat. The basic pattern is 25 minutes on, 5 minutes off, and you do that 4 times and then take a longer break at the end. And that is usually the pattern that I use with this, but you can do different amounts of time. You can find lots of articles online about people who have experimented with doing different amounts of time for the Pomodoro technique. But what's really nice about this is I feel like it gives me permission to be focused. That it's like for 25 minutes, I'm doing one task, that's all I'm doing, because that's an important piece of it too. You have to pick what task you're going to be working on during that time. It shouldn't just be, I'm going to do focused work, where you say, I'm going to write the introduction of this paper, or I am going to be grading this specific assignment, and you work for that amount of time. So I don't use this for all work, but I use it especially for things like writing and grading that it's important to stay focused for, but it's easy to find excuses to get out of doing. The most important thing though is that you don't allow any distractions during the Pomodoro itself. So getting more coffee, checking your email, those all technically end the Pomodoro and you are supposed to start over again. So you're supposed to really stay focused during that time. And the break time at the end is a nice reward as well. And then you can use that for whatever you want. If I'm at work, I'll use that to get up and stretch my legs. If I'm at home, I'll often like change the laundry or do something around the house for 5 minutes and then get back to work. So those are the 3 productivity tools that are most useful to me. And I usually use all 3 of these at once, to be honest. So I'm using Freedom to make sure I'm not distracted on my computer, using Forest to make sure that I'm not distracted on my phone, and then using the Pomodoro technique to stay on task and structure my time and give myself breaks. And these are tools that really I have been using since I was in grad school. I've been using them for a long time and they work well for me. They're probably not for everyone, but I think they work nicely. And I think that even for the Pomodoro technique is great because it breaks things up into such small chunks of time. So for someone like me, I don't have kids, I have a lot of flexibility in my schedule, but I think for someone who's really busy or is trying to be productive in small amounts of time, any of these could be really useful as well. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe if you're not already, and I will see you around soon. Bye everyone.